Hello, and yeah, my top 10 games of 2022, or maybe a better title is top 10 games I played in 2022. And yeah, on number 10, Vampyr. Um, yeah, it was pretty surprising to me. I think I did a let's play of this, and I think the game started off very strong. I liked the beginning and maybe like the middle part of it. And the reason why it isn't higher on the list is because, well, it fell off pretty hard near the end. Like the last, maybe like 25-20% of the game, I was like, oh god, just get this over with. I was like like playing fast because I just wanted it to be over. But it was still pretty interesting. And then number 9, Pokemon Violet. Another game I did let's play off, and yeah, it's a Pokemon game. I like Pokemon games. I quite liked the kind of like open worldiness of it. Well, it is open world. However, um, there's another game on this list that if Pokemon Violet would have taken some elements from that game, then Pokemon Violet would have been really, really good. Because I think level scaling is something they needed for Pokemon Violet, so that it isn't that easy to be overleveled. Now, to be fair, I never was overleveled in the game itself, but that's because I only used, like in my let's play, like the rodents, because I did a rodent let's play, so I only use rodent Pokemon. But I only use them, really for the gym battles and like those important battles. I had like a secondary and a third team that I had to use so that they don't get overleveled. So, yeah. But that is a problem like modern Pokemon games have. And also the tutorial. Pokemon Violet. Man, if I didn't decide to do a let's play, I probably wouldn't have finished the game at all. Oh yeah, the plus sign on some of these means that I finished the game. If it weren't for that fact, then I wouldn't have made it through the intro. The intro to this feels even longer than Sun and Moon, and it's kind of like, yeah, I would never replay this game entirely because of the intro. It's too long, like 2 or 3 hours before you actually get to play the game. No thanks. And that is with me removing like cutscenes and all that, like in the options, like just skip cutscenes. I don't care if it's my first time, just skip them, and it still took 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, can't imagine how long it would have taken otherwise. After that, Pokemon GX, which is a hack of Pokemon XD, and I liked it a lot. I'm not made it that far into it, but it's still here, because I mean the base game of Pokemon XD is really good. I like double battles. I like the setting, and it's that but better. So I'm sure if I continue playing that, I'm gonna enjoy it. And the little bit I have played, I would say I enjoyed more than a lot of things that I played of Pokemon Violet. So I think it earns that number 8 spot. Number 7, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So, yeah, another one I did a let's play off. And it was a lot of fun. But not in the beginning. Here's the thing about this game. I think you start off a bit too weak in this game. No. I take that back. You're not weak. You just don't have a lot of things to do. You barely have any force powers. You can barely do any diversity in your battling. There's too little options for you to do until you start leveling up. So the new games that they do, hopefully they don't make it so that you revert back, because man, was it so boring. But I also understand, okay, he was a Padawan, blah blah blah, but he was a Padawan that was on a clone ship. He should have had a little bit more, things to do, so that the first levels, the first probably like many levels, you don't get bored because you don't have options to battle with. But when you start getting those options, the game was a lot of fun. But this game only had one enjoyable boss to me, and that was the 9th sister. Not the main sister, not her. Her fight was boring as well. Like the alien sister was like the only real lightsaber fight in the entire game. And I thought it was very fun, even though she kicked my ass a lot. But it was fun, getting through it. Let's see, number 6, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, it was a fun, open world game. I liked, the assassin part of it. Capturing, not really capturing, but assassinating all these cult members. And, the ship thing was fun, hearing your crew sing as you sail across the Aegean seas, Yeah. I mean, I didn't do a ton of side missions and stuff like that. Because it actually took a long time to, go around killing all those cult members. That was pretty much my goal for the game. Kill the cult members, end the cult. And then, hopefully save my sister, which I managed to do. I managed to not kill anyone. Of our family, that is. And then the so-called twist at the end was on who is the true cult leader. I was oh, yeah, I called it. It was very obvious. But other than that, I had fun with the game. Would I want to play another Assassin's Creed game? Maybe in a couple of years. This is the second Assassin's Creed game I've played. I think the first one I played was 2. It was one that was on the Xbox 360, which I think was number 2. Yeah, and I had fun with both of these. Let's see, Fallout 3. Yeah, that is an ongoing Let's Play for me. And I mean, it to me so far it's like a slightly worse Fallout New Vegas. So I like it so far. I just think the setting is a bit worse than New Vegas, and there are a few lack of characters. I haven't run into a single character that I I like that character so far in Fallout 3. But yeah, other than that, it's a good Fallout game. Let's see. Number 4, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, now the last part of the trilogy of the reimagined Tomb Raiders. Or they also be you know what? They're not really the reimagined. They're the prequels to the old Tomb Raider games. And I thought it was good. I think it was the second best. I do think the best one, maybe it's because it was the first one I played, was the second in the trilogy. I played Rise of the Tomb Raider is what I think it was called. The one where you're in like Siberia, I think. You know, like it has a lot of snow and stuff like that. I think that one was the most fun for me. I think the was a lot more like shooting and stuff like that in that one. While this one, Shadow of Tomb Raider, was a little bit less fighting, a little bit less, you know, like action movie, but it was still more fun than the first one. And I feel like this one also had less tombs than the second one, but I could be wrong. I mean, I do like the setting of, you know, in like the South Americas. I think you were in Peru, I think, is where the game was set most of the time. Anyways, it was a good ending to that trilogy. I actually quite enjoyed the story of these Tomb Raider games. Let's see. Number 3, Borderlands 3. Yeah, this to me was like, oh man. I think Borderlands 3, I think the gameplay was like Borderlands 2. So it was okay, fine. However, this game, maybe it is being buffed a lot. Maybe you could argue that this game maybe should be number 4 or maybe number 5. But to me, the sister twin, you know, the Callisto's sister, like the main villain of the game. I really, really like her. I think she looks great. I like her attitude. She's really attractive. She's hot. Like, I jerked off a lot to her. Probably like my favorite character overall in the Borderlands games. And I mean, I played 1, 2, and 3 now. So these are the Borderlands games I played. And yeah, she's probably my favorite character so far. But I think it most has to do with the fact that I really love just how she looks and her personality and all that. Like, I don't know, she's like pure sex. So I think Borderlands 3 get a big buff because of that. Because due to the fact that, I mean, the last boss battle against her, really bad. She just turns into a monster. Like, oh man, fuck, I have to kill her. I kind of wish maybe she would have had like a bit of a redemption arc. And also, if we are going to kill her, then at least make the boss battle fun. Instead of like a glorified quick time event. But I guess it's also the problem with the Shadow of the Tomb Raider in that the boss battle felt like a glorified quick time event. But I think they did it pretty well. In the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that is. Which is probably why you could argue that Shadow of the Tomb Raider should be above Borderlands 3, but I'm thinking with my penis. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, and you might say, wait a minute. You have played this game years and years and years ago once. And that's true. However, the game is now released. Like, it's not in the early access that I played. And I decided, like, when I played it years ago, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait until the game is finished. Then I'm gonna go into it and see how it is. And it has been improved a lot since then. And yeah, at the moment as I'm playing it, like, yeah, this is probably the best Mountain Blade. I would say it is better than Warband in its current state, especially with mods. It's better than Warband. And I'm just at the moment, slogging along with my army, like trying to see if I can actually finish the main story. And I've decided, I'm gonna Regea, I think is her name. I'm gonna, throw my lot in with them. And we've started the whole thing of the Vlandians, Britannians, Sturgeons, and the Kuzite have declared war on us. So I'm in that stage at the moment. So I want to see what happens. Because I have no idea, is it even possible? The main story, where does it go? I'm curious. And then we have Pokemon Inclement Emerald, which is my number 1 game of this year. Which is the game I did a Let's Play of. And I think the Let's Play maybe boosts this game a lot for me, because it was a very fun Let's Play to do. I named all the I did a bird Pokemon challenge. So I only used bird Pokemon. Not flying types, but bird Pokemon. And naming them after viewers. Made it so that I had a more emotional connection with the Pokemon. And we had got 6 good characters going on. In the main team, that is. I ended up having 4, the A team, the B team, the C team, and the D team. Pokemon Violet could learn a lot from Inclement Emerald. Especially with the fact that how level works in it. It's the fact that if you have let's say 1 badge, your Pokemon can go up to level, say 15 or whatever. You can make that an option, I think. Or you could do what I did. Is the fact that, alright, I would put my Pokemon at a certain level for a certain gym. And then the gym leader's strongest Pokemon would be 2 levels above your strongest. So let's say I have a team full of level 15s. Roxanne's Nosepass would be level 17, and her rest of her Pokemons would be level 15 or maybe even 14, I don't remember. I think that is something that would be really, really good if Pokemon could implement, the main games. Maybe they can make 2 difficulty options. You pick casual or normal, which is just the way Pokemon is at the moment, the normal Pokemon experience. And then you make a challenge option. That is kind of like this. And when I think of challenge option, I think the only thing they really need to do is do things with the AI, make the AI a bit better, give them maybe a bit better teams, and make it so that levels, you cannot exceed whatever level the gym leader's Pokemon is, or you have to be maybe 1 or 2 levels below whatever the gym leader's ace Pokemon is. Because if you go into a gym with 6 Pokemon at level 15s, and Roxanne, for example, has level 15 Geodude, Nosepass, 2 Geodudes at level 13 and 14, and then an Onix at level 14, let's say. You're not really... It would be better than if your team of 6 for level 14. So there is a little bit of difficulty, whatever. And I think that's all you need to do, because the rest is very easy to put restrictions on yourself. For example, don't use healing items. Don't use, this and that. You can put those restrictions on yourself. But the level thing is very hard to put that restriction on yourself without having to look up what it is, And when you want to do things blind, I don't want to know anything, you know. And then also, even though I was doing my best to not over-level in Pokemon Violet, sometimes it just happened. So I think implementing stuff that would prevent that, kind of like a Pokemon Inclement Emerald did, really helps with the enjoyment. And then obviously, the teams that they used in Pokemon Inclement Emerald for the gym leaders and the special characters and all that fit those characters really, really well. It wasn't like Pokemon Inclement in Pokemon Violet, for example. One big problem I had with Pokemon Violet is that the gym leader, the Pokemon that they were using, didn't really feel like it fit them. Like it felt like there was no synergy between that, because normal in Pokemon, you know, the way a Pokemon gym leader looks and all that kind of reflects a bit in what their Pokemon are like. So there is some, you know, like, that's a nice team for that trainer. Pokemon Violet didn't really have that. I like themed teams. It doesn't need to be like, this person's theme is that they only use water Pokemon, like a water gym. Like, sure. I mean like themes as in, like a cave theme, which means Pokemon that would fit in a cave, or a ranch team, you know, like stuff like that. I'm not saying that they should make gym leaders like that, even though I do think it would be an interesting thing to do. But I do feel like you need trainers like that fit themes instead of just types. And if you're gonna do types, make it so that the types fit the theme as well. But yeah, this was me ranting, I guess, about my top 10 games of 2022. And, well, yeah, let me just show the games that I played. There was an option of 20 right here. And it got narrowed down to 10. Goodbye.